Before we start, I want to let you know that you're going to have a chance to take your own notes a little later in this video. If you'd like, you can pause the video right now and get some notepaper and a pen. Alright, on to the last listening part. Listening part 6 is similar to part 4 in that you'll be listening to a report by one speaker. This time, however, the audio includes multiple viewpoints about a controversial social issue. You'll also see a short statement before the audio. You will hear a presentation about an environmental issue. It's important to keep track of each viewpoint that you hear. You won't know beforehand just how many viewpoints are in the report, so be sure to leave extra space in case you need it. I know there will be at least 2 viewpoints, so I could start out my notes like this. You'll notice that I've left extra space on the right for any additional viewpoints. I can also include a section for notes about the issue itself. Right now, I know that it's about something environmental. Now let's listen to a short part of the report. I won't make any notes during the audio. Instead, try to make your own notes on a piece of paper. After the audio is finished, we'll compare. Ready to start?
Now that everyone is here, let's get started. As we all know, the environmentalists were rejoicing last week when Parliament voted unanimously on new measures to reduce greenhouse gases. The members of Parliament have given these measures their full support, but for those of us in industries which indirectly create greenhouse gases, this has created a formidable predicament. Environmental activists and the general public will almost certainly demand to see evidence of our reduced levels of emissions in the coming months. So, you may ask, where does this leave us?
Alright, so listening part 6 is one of the hardest listening parts. Was it difficult to identify any of the viewpoints here? The issue was about reducing greenhouse gases, and depending on how you divided things up, you should have found 3 viewpoints so far. The environmentalists and the Parliament both agreed that greenhouse emissions should be reduced. Industries that indirectly create these greenhouse gases, however, found themselves wondering what to do next. Now here's a question for this part. Remember that in listening parts 4, 5, and 6, all the questions are presented on the same screen, and you select your answer from a drop-down menu. This is a bit small, so let's zoom in. This presentation is being given in response to... The Parliament is a part of the government, and we can tell from our notes that Parliament voted to reduce greenhouse gases. Therefore, B, a recent decision by the government, is the correct answer. Okay, we've now completed our discussion of how to take notes for each listening part. The final video will give you a brief summary of some note-taking strategies for each part on the listening test.